Hello there, and welcome to episode 6 of Equal Board, the first season of the World at War. In the previous episode, we had quite some chaos and mayhem happening when one of our visitors turned out to be a thief that has been stopped only under severe losses. 3 of our people have died. The hospital is still treating injured people while I'm talking, and yeah, I gotta say, this whole world at war setting, I might have underestimated the implication of what I did there. Now, there's nothing better than being surprised by your scenario, so I really don't want to mutter here. Let's keep going. I've come up with a couple of cool ideas in between this and the previous episode. I was looking at what I could do here, building-wise, and I'm going to introduce a couple of ideas. One of them will be our own little pond. Yeah, I'm going to dig my own pond. It's going to be quite some engineering feat because we're going to use water generated out of the aquifer to fuel it, so to speak. It's going to be quite interesting to me, at least. Now, let's see. I have a shortage of siltstone, as a matter of fact. Where was that stuff again? So there's definitely no quarrying of siltstone happening. I did do some tunneling that I can't remember today anymore. It's been only yesterday. Brain, how dare you? No, I don't know anymore where I did dig. This doesn't matter too much though, because if they find anything interesting, they'll let me know. And eventually I will find a long stair or a long tunnel somewhere. Alright, but looking at what we got so far, I'm quite happy and pleased. There we go. Ah, this one. It's the siltstone quarry I already ordered. Alright. It's always nice to see that you're ahead of yourself, right? Okay. So the other problem that I came up with that I didn't find an answer to yet is the question of exports for this place. I am somewhat intrigued to go for metal, because obviously we do have we do own quite a lot of metal, but I'm not quite sure yet. Not quite sure yet. Anyways, so with the siltstone supplies secured, I can finally start building more here, or so I thought. The biggest issue here at hand is that the population count is very wrongish. You know, we do have on paper 33 people, but in practice we have a ton of monster hunters that just hang out in the tavern. It's a dozen or so. So take a dozen or so monster hunters. On top of that, take a couple of children, and you have almost no workforce, even though you have 33 people in the fort. Yeah, it ain't that easy. It's a pretty difficult start, not gonna lie. It's one of the most difficult that I've had in a while, due to the fact that we have so many weird people coming here. I can't postulate it differently, it's just weird people everywhere. I mean, we had a flippin' wombat crossbowman in the tavern the other day. I checked it. I didn't even know that these exist. And here's the next one, who's just escaping here as a thief. That this person obviously is. So it is time to make a decision. We can't open our tavern to everybody anymore. All visitors welcome? No. Only citizens and long-term residents. Be gone! Thieves. Have it with you. Until we have a proper militia that will just hunt down thieves. And if so many thieves come around, I might rethink my stance towards cage traps again. Because it's a lot of fun to process thieves once they are caged properly. You have a lot of time to think what you do with them then. You can prepare contraptions and locations, you know. People in cages don't need food, did you know? Anyways, I'm taking this way too personally, as you might notice. I don't like people coming into my fort just for thievery's sake. That's all. Okay, we will get past that. This makes me kind of nervous towards the people that we have invited here as long-term residents. I hope these won't be one day turning out to be traitors as well. That would be a shame. Alright, so our drink numbers are going down, and I also noticed that I've made a pretty big mistake when I started out this fort. I didn't put up my planter to exclusive work, so now my planter is pretty much of a not so powerful farmer than it could be. Our irrigation project will commence very soon. I think I still need another hatch cover though. So we're gonna order these into mass production because it's the age of mass production on us now. So we don't have the population yet to stem it, I know, but we're gonna get there. I know that we're gonna get there. Currently I just have to accept that things will go on by quite slowly, that's all. So let's make that one hatch cover though as a custom order. Because I want to have 2 farming fields here. Just doesn't feel good to me. Okay. I do like how this furniture stockpile area looks like. Really. Overall, the initial planning work pays off. I just need to keep up with that pace, but I surely feel capable of doing so. So I have come up with a couple of ideas for the fort itself. Not only will I dig a pond, that pond will sit inside of a little castle. That's at least the plans that I've made so far. Okay. So this meeting area here, well, I'll keep it for the moment. We need a proper replacement eventually, and we don't have that yet. Ah, dang it. I would love to do more currently, but I can't. Just the hauling jobs alone keep the fortress denizens so busy, I don't feel properly equipped to do anything differently. We have a couple of expedition tunnels here going these directions, so I can keep foraging for the materials that we require, but obviously there's pretty much no tin to be found so far. If I remember correctly, the stuff we're looking for is called cassiterite, which is the ore of tin, but yeah, doesn't help that I know how it's called if we are not finding it. On the other hand, the copper mines are bountiful. We probably will put up a military squad clad in copper. Given the the occurrence of criminal, how to call it, attitude. Yeah, that's the right word. The amount of criminal attitude inside of my fort is really exceeding all of my previous experiences, you know? I loved Dwarf Fortress for that. This game is always good to give you a new challenge. And why is nobody carrying out this this body? We have a stockpile zone for bodies. I have tomes. Everything. Is there something in the standing orders hindering them? Hauling. Refuse and dumping. Ignore outdoor refuse. Well, it's pretty okay. So This only sets up locks. I think this is just a worker shortage. I've had it several times in the past that everything else seemed properly set up, but the tasks just didn't get done. And most of the time, all it was just a lack of workforce. And we have an injured citizen here. Alright, it's the last one of them. So... broken. Alright, we're going to need a traction bench here. Let's see, can we manufacture one? It's looking good. Job is not going to is not being kicked out immediately. That means we have all the ingredients available. Good stuff. So yeah, poor fella here has broken bones, and until wait a sec, you're the bone doctor, and you. Good lord, that won't work, Reg. I need to change something up. Let's see. This is a good opportunity to do some science on this topic. So, I did forbid and unforbid the table really quickly to make sure that it's not going to get hauled down here for being placed over here. I do not regret the choice at all that I have set up children to do chores for the time being. This is not so good for the morale, but we do need the workforce so badly. By the way, the new dining hall is looking really nice. We need to utilize shale somehow, I see. Shale. How about crafting with shale? I was looking for something to export, and stone types that you don't like are always good thing for that topic. Oh yeah, let's do that. So, shale. There we go. Petitions. Gel shack boarded. You know, wait a while. We have so many new people here. We can't really go on if we are seeing towards the future with less dwarven heads in here than other races. This ain't a Dwarf Fortress gameplay anymore, and I don't like it. You poor fellas. It's very interesting, though, how many people want to join me all of a sudden. I didn't give this world a proper test drive, so I can't tell if it's just the world itself or my world at war settings. But I strongly think it's the latter. Because if everybody is in war, there's a lot of turmoil. And I think that turmoil creates a lot of people that are just roaming over the world looking for a new home. I don't know. I've had never a world with that much war in Dwarf Fortress. It's really fascinating to see. I'm very happy that I did this already. Alrighty. So, calling out a couple of bedrooms because it's about time for some more comfort. The big problem that I got so far still is that the part of the city here is nice and all, but we need a much bigger city. What we got here is really only the beginning. I mean, I will most likely set up some living area over here too, because we are just too pressed to get into action before I can do something that I really want to do. So, the other idea that I had, I found that pretty interesting. It's been in the comments section mentioned that if I'm living on a flat plate, might as well start digging and create my own hill. So I like the idea. I liked it so much that I came up with the consideration of creating a plateau of sorts for my base and dig downstairs. A little bit at least, so our fort will sit on a little hilltop that is sitting in a crater that we can probably use as a moat. I don't know. I'm just simply still brainstorming because I want to just, utilize the marvel and splendor of Dwarf Fortress. The following thing I have already decided. The spot where the hospital now is at, will be the main entrance into the actual city. Because if you look at it right there, this is excellent. I mean, sure, it goes through the pasture, but we're just gonna build a stairwell there and no props. It's really no problem. It's going to be the best spot from the surface to breach inside here. So this area here will be basically the heart of the surface fortress, and then we'll see. Some rough planning at least by now. But given the situation right now, I really need to wait until I have the bigger influx of dwarves that comes after a year or two. Currently, we just need to build, sit and wait it out, because I just don't have the workforce for bigger projects. But it's sure interesting to be planning already for your big projects, because I do know from experience, once they start coming, they don't stop coming. And before you know it, you are in the hundreds. So that's okay. Having a plan is very important. And the other thing is, I really want to do something with the caverns, but I don't know yet what and how. It's just... What? So, why is this not eligible to be a bedroom? Would you kindly tell me? I don't see the problem here. Interesting. Yeah, well, whatever. It's the first time that multi-painting was not working anymore. So, puppy has been slaughtered. Yum. Sorry. It's just the first thought. And we got here all I need. So the shale transportation is not happening yet. It's no big surprise. But let's go through it, theoretically at least. So, let's see. Rock Schwarzsword. Ah, yeah, you can only make these out of obsidian, though. It's not possible to make them out of stone, out of any stone. It's a restrictive recipe. I think figurines. I do like the idea of figurines. Figurines are not too heavy. You can decorate them afterwards. And yeah, we're gonna do that. So it's gonna be the jeweler here. And then we're going to make a stockpile for finished goods, namely figurines. So, whoops. There we go. And we're going to make sure that it's only going to be, wait a sec, gemstone figurine? Well, we'll leave it like that. Gave me... did I miss out something? So, Human Bowman is visiting. We really need to get our military up and running. It's one of the things that I really want to do. As soon as I have some fuel again on the table here, I'm going to order myself some weaponry. And Johnny Plain Future, as much as I like your name, no. Quartzite figurine, alright. I was already onto something here before I even knew it. Maybe it was my subconscious knowing that we had a small figurine lying around that was a good fit, but I highly doubt it. Alright. Well, as much as I want to expand on my city right now, I'm holding myself back. So, here we go. For those little temples here. That's gonna be more than enough work for those little fellas, you know? There's just so much work for everybody. So, dining... I just checked whether or not dining halls could be assigned to outsiders as well. So, our temples. Well, for the time being, I'll leave them open for all visitors, because... I only dedicate them to dwarven gods. So if a human comes on by and wants to revere a dwarven god, who am I to say no to that? Alright, so we're going to draw the gemstone stockpile over here and delete it over there. I love this transfer feature. You know, I am really not happy with many user interface things of Dwarf Fortress, but this one, it's amazing. So, alright. Somebody's dying over here, you fools. So we need orderlies, and obviously I need to make some buckets. There's two reasons why that could happen. For one, no source of clean water, but we have, alright, cleanish water? It would count. And the other thing, no workers, and the other thing, no buckets. So, yeah. Let's change something about that no buckets thing. We have enough charcoal on the list here. So, isn't a bucket an other object now? Is it a piece of furniture? Are you kidding me? Yes, yes it is. Well, what do I know about the game? You can't possibly put a bucket anywhere, but it's only part of whatever. You do you, game. I just simply disagree. Alright, so I'll be forging a bucket and hoping that somebody will get the bone doctor some water. My gods. That's really a problematic situation. Ah yeah, somebody brought him water now. I think it was just not enough orderlies. Forging a couple of buckets, though, doesn't hurt us at all. Buckets are quite a necessity, and I like the idea of making our buckets out of metal here. It's just a question of fuel at this point. As we don't have minecarts yet ready to carry some magma upstairs or something like that. And I'm really not at the point where I'm pondering how to put up a magma workshop here. I'm happy that the poor bone doctor probably is starting to get better now. Oof. But in all seriousness, water seems to be a problem. So let's change that. Where do I start? I really wanted to give this situation more of a proper preparation, but I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to dig a nice little puddle, pond, whatever over here. We're just going to dig into the sandy realms. Now I'm going to go for damp dig on because we're surely going to piss off our water warning system. And all I want to do now is I want to dig into the aquiferous layers to create myself a little bit of an area where we will naturally gather water. That's all. So I'm doing it like that, so it's going to be a slope that will slowly fill with water, and if we need some, we can get it there. It ain't a well exactly, but it's pretty simple. It doesn't hurt anybody, and maybe, only maybe, we can start fishing there. Don't know. Just a hope of mine. But yeah, this is it. This is where our starter farm is getting their water from. There we go. Isn't it cool? I mean, I personally like it. And it's slowly gonna fill with water now. So we don't need to drink murky water anymore. We can now drink water out of the stone walls. I guess that's way more hygienic or so. Anyways. We need temples, don't we? So, still no new people, so I'm trying to do the best to get this time here creatively filled. The fierce. So, wait a sec. This one was dedicated to the fierce. So, sadly, Weird. Okay, we're going to go from top to bottom, so... Mundur, the Ashen Burial. Damn, these gods are so fitting for this world. I love it. I'm so happy that this culture has a little bit more badassery going on their gods. The awe-inspiring. We definitely need more temples. There we go. Hell yeah. This means also that in this world we're going to see people demanding temples and organized religion more. This'll be great. All right. So how is this coming along? It's coming along just as we need it. So water, our first real farm is happening now. Sloosh. There we go. That's that. Irrigation done. We can now deconstruct the lever because we're never going to need it ever again. We're waiting until the water here evaporates, and then we're just doing the same thing over here. This also means that we're never going to be able to utilize the hatch here ever again, but by all means, it doesn't mean anything. We're not going to go here ever again, most likely. Last thing I want them to do is to axe this stairwell because we don't need it anymore. And the year 252 dawns. So 2 years equals board persists. We have our first dead dwarfs. We had 2 cases of treachery, leading to me closing down the taverns for outsiders for good. But also, we have some industrious halls, don't we? I really like how this fortress looks like. I really hope that I am redeeming in this saga myself towards all the people that felt like I was just building a little bit too much, just something. I don't know. I gotta say, learning to do something, something cool looking in this game is harder than with other games. But it's also very, very rewarding. I think I'm going to remove the wall here entirely. Don't like how it looks. There we go. Now the last step. We all know it already. Link the switch. Alright. So we can now build proper farms. The farms that we had before were a proper joke towards compared to this. As in these farms, we have roughly 3 times as much output as with the topsoil there. So things are going to go now much, much bigger. 2 of these chambers are more than enough to feed a complete fortress. So we are surely able to just keep it up with those 2 as long as we have only a population of 200. If we one day want to have a bigger population, we would need to do it differently. We could fertilize, or, well, so, yeah. It's been only, luckily, his hands being very, very battered, but the problem here is not only that the right hand is battered, the left hand is gone. So, Reg the Bone Doctor is a one-handed mess. I don't know if we should keep him a Bone Doctor here. So, I really don't mean you any... I don't mean it personally, Reg, but probably we should fetch somebody else for the job. So, yeah. How about a Bone Carver? They at least know how bones behave. Right? So we're going to make sure that old Reg here is going to have a good life. And, you know, probably Reg Paint Machines is not going to be the world's most influential mason anymore, but we sure might be able to make him, to give him a proper life. Alrighty, so let's get this party started. Sweet pods into plump helmets. Plump helmets all year. Quarry bushes into pigtails. And one more time, because pigtails are just a very requested good. Alright, so we need to reconstruct a lot of things here still. This ain't gonna be working out immediately. So what I'm gonna be doing for the transition time is this year we're going to forge lad. There we go. And this ends our time for today. So thanks for being around. This is much more of an exciting fort than I originally anticipated, especially with all the drama happening already in the first 2 years. I really like that. It's cool if a fort has stories happening and all these things. The earlier they happen, the better, no? So, my good friends, leave a comment, leave a like, leave a subscribe, consider checking out the description box and being part of more of these things that I made, because there's just 2 more playlists full of fortresses that I played in different worlds. So, feel free to support my channel financially. If you feel like my work is worth a dime to you, it really means a lot to me. And many thanks go out to all of the supporters of Icon Gaming, and of course, I want to thank you specifically here again another time for watching this video up until the very end. It really means more to me than you might think. So, have a wonderful day, you internet person, and I hope you're coming back another day. See you there. Bye-bye.